Right guys, so in this video we're essentially looking at switching the game up a little bit. The plan here is the video is going to be in two parts. This one's going to look through how to change the orientation of the screen from landscape to portrait with the player moving left and right, hazards coming from down, and the parallax scrolling from top to bottom rather than left to right. So that's what this video is going to be on. However, the next video is going to be about the movement because it'd be quite a long video for me to try and put it all together. So after this video, it's not going to look perfect because the player will still be trying to move up and down. But we'll tackle that. So to start with, what we want to do is quite simply, we want to change our aspect ratio up here. So currently it's 16:9. So obviously, just for the time being, I'm going to go in and I'm going to switch it to 9. Oh, not fixed aspect ratio. 9 to 16. And then we'll get this view. Obviously, I can't see my character. Yeah, that's kind of a big one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my character so I can see him in the scene. So about the middle, put him at the bottom. There we go. There's the first mobile notification. So the character is now at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to put him about here. I'm also going to change my spawn points. So if you remember, my spawn points are over here. My gizmos are down, but there we go. So I'm going to drag these to here. I'm going to put the middle one just there. So you can see that this point is right on the edge of the screen at the top. These two are kind of all over the shop. So I'm going to delete them. Put that where I want it, and then I am going to duplicate that one just to get these in the right place. Go back to Spawn Manager, reassign the spawn points. So now I've got my character in the middle, my spawn points at the top. I set up boundaries as well. Obviously, these boundaries are going to be no good at the minute, so I am just going to spin these 90 degrees. And place them at the edge of the screen where they need to be. And same with this one. So I'll put that in there. The other thing I'm going to need to do is on the player, we set up the rigid body. I need to drop that gravity off to 0 because now I don't want him dropping. I want him going left to right. So that's one bit. There's a script we need to change, which is the hazard movement. Technically, we need to change two scripts. We need to change the hazard movement and the parallax BG. So I think off the top of my head, I can change the... Oh, no, I can't. So open up hazard movement. So this isn't hazard movement, this is parallax, but just give my Visual Studio a second to kick in. There we go. So the way this works is we're essentially just changing this little bit here because this is the X and this is the Y, and we want to swap round. So I'm just going to remove that. That's now going to be 0, and this is going to be set to SPD. So that's one bit. So now instead of going right to left, they're going to go from top to bottom. And the parallax is simple because we are going to switch this round. So in this section just here, as you can see, we now want this to be the back end of this. So I'm just going to put a 0 there, a comma there, and then I'm going to delete the 0 and the comma from the end of there. So this is just going to completely change the way that this rotates. Scrolls. This is not really going to work very nicely with Sky, but you'll see what I mean. So if we now go into the Spawn Manager, we're just going to double check the prefabs. So this is obviously coming down from -4. So this should come from there to there now. So let's give this a try. The scrolling might be wrong. This is just going to be some tweaking. We just need to test this out. Give it a second. So it's scrolling the right way. And now the hazards spawning the right way as well. So this is working. Obviously, it looks really weird, but that's because you wouldn't have this background as the parallax from top to bottom, would you? But in terms of switching everything round, obviously if I jump now, he is still going to fly up, which we don't want. But we're going to do that in the movement in just a second. So, yeah. So, main things we want to do, switch the aspect ratio around. So, portrait, we are portrait now. The parallax coming from top to bottom instead of right to left, which that's doing. And the hazards coming from top to bottom instead of right to left. So, they're also working. So, this is probably where I'm going to leave this video, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the hazard, character movement. And the way we're going to do the character movement is we're going to set up 2 buttons at the bottom of the screen for left and right. So that's what we've got so far. That's the easy bit. So I'm going to see you in the next video where I'm going to implement all of them changes. Cheers.